Hello student, in this class we learn Reveal tool and this tool is available in the curve menu in the bottom side. So first I switch to top viewport and then create a curve. I choose curve tool and in the curve tool I choose CV curve tool. I click on this thick line to detach from the menu and place here and then click on the tool setting box. So all the tool setting is available here and similar type of setting is also available in rebuild curve tool. So I show you these settings so don't be confused. And then click on the CV curve tool and then create a curve by click on the viewport simply. So I create a simple curve and then hit enter. Now I create another curve. And then hit enter. So this curve has more point and first I select this and show you, and if I click and drag once again, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 total edit point is 11. Now this time I select this object and then count here, and this curve has more than 11 point. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and these are others. So I exit from the editing mode. So first I select this curve and then go to curve menu and click on the setting box of this rebuild tool, and first I reset these settings. First parameter is rebuild type and by default uniform radio button is selected here. It's mean after applying this tool the edit point position is uniform in this curve, and these are other options to rebuild this curve. And second parameter is parameter range and by default 0 to 1 is selected, and if I click on the apply button, so this curve convert into a linear because only 0 to 1 edit point will remain. So we can choose keep, the shape of this curve will not change. And the third parameter is 0 to spam numbers. I show you what the mean of this spam, and by using this you can change the number of spam. First I select this object and then click on the attribute editor button, and here you can see the number of spam. Total number of spam is 10, and if you want to increase or decrease the value of this spam you can click on this radio button, and here you can change the number of spam value. If you want to increase like 15, I type 15 and then click on the apply button. So spam value is changed and here you can see the updated spam value, it's 15. First I close this dialog box and then show you what the spam means. I click on the edit point and select all the edit points. Its first edit point and its second and its start or end edit point. Between two edit point this space called spam and the total number of the spam is 15. I right click and choose object selection mode. If you want to decrease the spam value, go to curve and click on the setting buttons and change the spam number. I choose 10 this time and then click on the apply, and spam value is changed here. You can also change the spam number by choosing reduce button, but it's depend on the global settings. If I click on this, a new parameter is appear, use tolerance, and by default it's set on global. It's mean two edit point is nearby the global tolerance value, so they will reduce, and these global settings is available in the preferences. I show you. So I go to Windows and then click on the setting and preferences and then click on the preferences, and in the left side click on the settings, and here you can see the tolerance parameters and you can change the parameters, but I leave them as it is. So I click on the cancel button And the second use of rebuild tool is if you have two curve with a different number of span value or edit points and you want to equal the span numbers, so you can use this tool. First I select this curve because this curve has more span numbers and we want to equal to this curve. So press shift key and then select this curve and then go to curve, rebuild, and then click on the setting button and click on the match node, and here you can choose 0 to span numbers and click on the apply button and then click on the close button. Now you can count. Spam number is 10 and here spam number is also 10. So by using this tool you can also match the spam numbers of two curve. So these are use of this tool. Now we meet in the next class. Hello student, in this class we learned project tangent tool and this tool available here. By using this tool you can project a nerve curve on the nerve surface. So first I create a nerve surface object. So I switch to side viewport and then create a cylinder. Click and drag and create a radius for this cylinder, and by using top viewport click and drag and create a depth or height, and by using move tool move in the center of this grid. Now I switch to attribute editor panel and in this panel click on the next tab, and here we make changes in the start and end sweep. So I maximize perspective viewport and select this object and click and drag these sliders and open this cylinder, and then delete these start and end cap manually by selecting and delete key. Now I create a curve by using side viewport. So I switch to side viewport again, and here you can see object is placed here and I create a curve and end nearby this edge. So I choose EP curve tool and then create a curve by clicking on the grid and then hit enter key. Select both objects. First I reduce the distance between two objects. So I select this curve, right click and choose control vertex and move little bit upside. Okay, now I switch to perspective viewport and change this shaded mode to wireframe mode by pressing 4 numeric key. Now I select this curve and right click and choose control vertex again and select this vertex. Now I snap this curve on the edge of this cylinder. So I press C key. When you press C key, snap to curve option is enabled, or you can enable by clicking on this icon. Now hover your mouse on the edge of this object and then press middle mouse key. When you press middle mouse key, so this point is snap on the edge of this cylinder, and then release your mouse and C key. Now I rotate little bit and here you can see the point is snap on the edge. Now I press 5 key to switch to shaded viewport and right click and choose object mode to exit from the editing mode of this curve. Now we select this cylinder and then press shift key and then select this curve. So both object is selected. Now I create two duplicate copy of this object. So I press shift key and then click and drag. So two object is created. Now I select this surface and then press shift key and then select this second curve. Now I go to curve, project tangent and then click on this setting button. First I reset these settings and here you can see two type of construction mode is available. So I create two duplicate copy of this object, and for this I apply tangent option and then click on the projected. So projection is apply. If I undo, Ctrl Z, Here you can see the angle of this curve before applying Project Tangent tool, and after applying Project Tangent tool the curve direction is changed and it's follow the surface direction first and then blend in this area. Now I switch to channel box, and here you can see Project Tangent node is applied on this curve. I show you this one. When you click on this, all the parameter is expand here, and by click and drag you can change the, I zoom out little bit first and then show you. So here you can see you can change the curve scale value from this parameter. If you want to change the tangent scale manually, so we have another option. Click on the modify menu and then go to transform tool, and here you can see show manipulator tool is available here. When you click on this, a manipulator ring is display here and the 2 point is highlighted here. When you click and drag on a point, so you can see, I think by this point the rotation value is changed. So I click on this and change the scale number. Positive and negative both value is applied by click and drag this icon. And if you want to rotate, choose the first point and then rotate. So it's a alternate way to change the tangent scale and rotation, or you can also choose these parameter. Now I switch to our second copy of this object. First I select this surface and then press shift key and then select this curve and then go to curve, project tangent, and this time I choose curvature. And when I click on this curvature radio button, you can see another parameter is available here. In the tangent construction mode, this parameter is not available. So this time I choose curvature and then project. So curvature is projected here and manipulator tool is active because last time we activated this tool. And here you can see I select this curve, project tangent node, the parameter is available. When you click and drag, so you can change, I think value is not changing, let me check. Okay, value is changing. So first parameter for tangent scale, you can scale tangent, and the second parameter for curvature scale, you can scale up or down, and the third parameter for rotation, you can rotate, or you can also choose these points and rotate. I hope you learned how to use Project Tangent tool. Now we meet in the next class. Hello student, it's a tips and trick class, and first tips is related to Maya navigation. If you want to switch one viewport to another viewport, you have to press space bar. When you first time press space bar, you switch to 4 viewport window and then hover your mouse on the next viewport and then press space bar again, so that particular viewport is maximized. In the whole process you have to press space bar 2 times, and if you want to go back to the previous viewport you have to press space bar 2 times again. But in this tip you have to press space bar only 1 time. When you press space bar, a hotbox menu is displayed here. Hover your mouse on the Maya button and then right click, and here you can see different viewport is available here, and you can directly switch one viewport to another viewport. If you want to switch to perspective viewport, release your mouse here and you immediately switch to perspective viewport. And if you want to switch to front viewport, press space bar and then right click and leave your mouse on the front viewport and you immediately switch to front viewport. Same as you can also switch to another viewport like top, back, right view and camera view. So it's very easy way to switch one viewport to another viewport. Now I press space bar and switch to 4 viewport window. Next tip is related to Maya UI element. If you are using Maya for modeling purpose, so some panel is not useful for you, like this time slider, this range slider or this command line. because it's useful for animation purpose. And the other thing is this panel menu and this toolbar, and it's repeated on the every viewport and it's used lot of space. By hiding these panel you can increase space for modeling purpose. I show you one by one how you can hide these panels. If you want to hide these panel, go to Windows menu and then click on the UI element, and all the UI element is available here. If you want to hide range slider, click on this checkbox, and for time slider click on this checkbox, and if you want to hide this command line, click on this checkbox, so all the panel is gone. This helpline is very useful. Some tips and tricks is available here, so not need to hide this panel. I close this. Now we have lot of space for modeling purpose, and if you want to hide this panel menu or toolbar, you can hide by keyboard shortcut. If you want to hide this panel menu, press Shift M. By pressing Shift M, you can hide all the panels. And if you want to show again, press Shift M again. Now I press Shift M again to hide. And if you want to hide the toolbar, so press Ctrl Shift M. So all the toolbar is gone. And if you want to reload, press Ctrl Shift M. So it's a very handy and useful keyboard shortcut to show and hide panel and toolbar menus. Next step for hiding selected or unselected object. First I draw some shapes. I draw one circle and second circle. If I want to draw circle shape again and again, so every time I have to choose circle tool, but there is a shortcut to activate the last tool. By pressing G, you can activate last tool and you can draw circle. I press G key again and circle tool is active and you can draw. Now this time I choose rectangle and create a rectangle. Then press G key, so rectangle tool is active again and you can draw rectangle. Now I select these two circles by window selection. If you want to hide selected object, press Ctrl H. By pressing Ctrl H, you can hide selected object. Now I click on the outliner window. Here you can see the two object is grey out. They are currently hide. If you want to unhide these object again, so first select these object and then press Shift H. By pressing Shift H, you can unhide these object. And the second option is if you want to hide unselected object, so press Alt H. By pressing Alt H, you can hide unselected object. So you can see here all the unselected object is hide. If you want to unhide these object, first select these object by pressing Ctrl key and then press Shift H. By pressing Shift H, you can unhide these selected object. Press Shift H. So now all the hide object is displayed on the viewport. So these are tips and tricks for this class. Now we meet in the next class.